Hello, it's Sky here, and today you join me on the Skippy Games channel, and we will be building a autumn house or an autumn cottage. It's a bit late, but this is the last of my Spookathon videos, and I wanted to just get it up because this video is actually 12 hours worth of content put down to 30 minutes, so it's watchable. I wanted this to be all up in one go. This is the longest it has ever taken me to build a house. I can't remember ever having putting this much time into any of my other Sims builds, but then again, they weren't recorded, so I don't know. I'm a very thorough maximalist builder, and I do intend on using most of the builds I build for gameplay. I'm a very big gameplay Sims person, so that's one of the things I love doing most. It's just I spend so long building houses that I don't spend a lot of time playing in them. So eventually, now that this is done and I've got my little sim, I can play in this house, which I love. It's all the vibes I want. So here I'm building the outside, and this took me a while to do in general. I was figuring out all the diagonal, vertical walls, whatever, and it was just an odd shape and it was really hard to roof. I was basically using a lot of ideas from Pinterest, and there was this one specific picture of a little door and a window overlooking some autumn trees and just a really nice view. So I wanted to capture that, so I've chosen Cordelia's secret cottage place. I think it's a 30 by 20 in the world of Henford on Bagley. I am obsessed with Henford on Bagley. I'm obsessed with cottagecore, and I wouldn't want to build this type of build anywhere else in The Sims. Although, because I like cottagecore, I'm very drawn to Henford on Bagley. So I practically always build here if I can. But it's basically based on this world of autumn. It's going to be all autumn themed builds that I'll just do here and again next year as well. So this year I only had time to do this one because I spent so long on it and I had other commitments, and this was just it this year. I'm looking forward to doing some Christmas builds though. But I renamed Cordelia's secret cottage to Autumn's secret cottage because I made a sim and her name is Autumn, and she is autumn, the epitome of autumn personified, and I used a load of nice custom content on her, and she's really pretty, and that video is also already up on my channel. But yeah, her name is Autumn Hartley, and she is the sim that I made as the focal point of this autumn themed world, where eventually I would like to have a whole entire save of autumn themed builds. I would also like to be able to get the spooky pack so that I can have functional pumpkin carving, and then I've got the I didn't get the paranormal pack. I got the Realm of Magic pack. I think that's what it's called. I forget all of their names, but I got that pack on deals and stuff so that I could get a nicer window and just get more witchy like vibes for my autumn builds and cottage builds, which I think would settle in very nicely. But yes, her name is Autumn Hartley. This is the first build. This is her house, and eventually I would like to have like shops, now rented places, just parks, all of that lot, themed autumnal. And here I'm currently doing the garden, so I'm finished with the house layout. I've placed all my windows. I'm obsessed with the like lattice crisscross windows, so I always place them whenever I can. They're really pretty, and I like that one of the windows is open. And then I've loved the stained glass windows in the Growing Together pack, so those are all my little windows. And then I've got a circle window which I will change out, But here I'm going through debug, which I didn't want to go through on my main saves because I want to kind of unlock all of those unlockable furnitures, and I wanted to be able to see the normal furniture. But in this, seeing as I've not played with the sim before and I've not played with the world, I was like, I'm just gonna go all out. I'm gonna go debug and finally look through all of it, especially because there's a lot of cottage core items and pumpkins, plants and stuff, mushrooms in like Henford-on-Bagley, and then pumpkins, and I found some like small ones and then bigger ones, and then they've got different colours as well. There's a mushroom, like just a giant mushrooms, and then there was I don't know, just loads of things. I got all of those. They had like the plants in there as well, so I got those out, and plus it meant that I spent less money on this build, because this build ends up being, I think, 92,000 simoleons, so quite a hefty price. But on one of my other saves, my sim has worked for so long and I've leveled her all the way up, and I think at one point they had 80,000 simoleons, so I used loads of cheats to be able to build this, because I think I did the story for her and she's only got like 20,000 simoleons to start off with, and she's a writer, and that's what she'll be starting her work as once I'm able to play it. But yeah, that'll hopefully be next year now, coming into September or August time. But yeah, I don't know, if you want any, I'm such a big fan of autumn. If you want autumn builds at any time of the year, just suggest them. I will do it. I love autumn. I love these colours, like just green, browns, the oranges, the yellows. Love it. And I also love mushrooms and pumpkins and stuff. And fairy lights. So any cute, cozy builds like this, I really don't mind doing. But I wanted to make this really nice big pond. I saw people using the mill like circles for water mills, and I know that they were in debug and I wanted to use them. Didn't quite work out in this build how I wanted it to, but I ended up using it and it's still nice in the end. I wanted to have like, I just wanted it to be a really nice cute little like proper garden. I'd thought of building a pumpkin patch, but again didn't have time to do that and would want to put more work into that, and now that we've got full rent, could make it more like a town situation. But this, I just wanted to have a massive garden with a little pumpkin patch, pumpkins everywhere, because she's obsessed with Halloween and autumn, and it's just her favourite time of year. I also wanted to go into debug to get all the matching trees for Henford-on-Bagley during the autumn season. So I've got those really pretty purple trees, and I just wanted everything to look really natural. I wanted some like other like activities she could do in her garden. So she's got a swing, she's got a washing line, she's got a little floristry bench, she's got bicycle, and a little bird box. And we've got the scarecrow Patchy from Seasons. I think he's from Seasons or something like that. But there's lots of things for her to do in the garden. And then I'm just playing foliage, placing foliage. I keep on going on about it. It's literally my favourite thing to do in any game, just filling it all up. It's not as expensive for other items, and I'm obsessed with plants and gardens. So every single sim that lives in a house that I build has to have the most exquisite garden that is just so unattainable in real life and would not be as much of a thing in real life. But this is also the first time that I've built a garden during the autumn, so there's a lot more, like there's the grass is a different colour, the bushes are a different colour, the trees are a different colour, like everything, the flowers are different colours as well. So it was very different trying to build with these and try to make the colour still match and the colour still look nice and cohesive. I have no idea what it will look like in the summer. I don't want to know because I'm playing this world in the autumn. But hopefully it looks nice, and hopefully it looks nice during the autumn. I didn't want it to be, because I like lush gardens, I didn't want it to be some kind of like empty, like barren place. I wanted it to still look as lush and full of life as like any other sim house would be. And I've got lots of little flower bushes everywhere, daisies. Really loved putting the sunflowers everywhere. I thought they just matched with the vibe perfectly. I also love sunflowers, so that's why that is there. I'm really bad at using the same things in most builds, so please give me some suggestions for like different types of builds, because I will just build stuff like this because it's what I'm used to and it looks really nice. And I love cottages, and yes, I really like these little rock paths. I think that looked really cute. And I'm just placing more mushrooms around the place, and I wanted a proper like outside like porch area for all of her pumpkins and stuff that she would have like carved by herself and stuff like that. And now I'm placing the really nice trees which kept on floating above the pond because I'd made the house a little too big, but I got it in the end. I'm using some debug like ivy because I find that I love the cottage pack ivy, but there's not enough of it, and I have to like size it down and put loads of it, and sometimes it just doesn't look that good. So I like these like debug bigger pieces, which were a bit hard to place but ended up looking nice, and they matched like the season color. But this is how the outside of the house looks. This is basically finished now. I'm just adding some little pieces like outside lighting and little plants outside, but I'll join you when we're inside the house. Alright, so you're joining me again, and now we're starting in the house. I wanted this to be a big house. I've really liked open plan houses, so this is what I've done. I wanted a really like focal point, open staircase with those big windows, which I'm kind of guessing that the story is that she moves into this little cottage and she's very like grandma chic, but she wanted to renovate it a little bit, so she's gotten these windows. Probably she's a writer, so I'm saying that she's got like good income from her writer job, and she's done a few like modern replacements for stuff, but she still wants to keep things just as like older and things like how they were when she moved in. But she needs that connection to the outside world, so I wouldn't put this build like off grid or anything. But I think the lot challenges that I've got is probably cat neighborhood, probably maybe the fox stuff, and like good environment so that she's always quite happy. She was not happy while I was building this, however, because she had no amenities to use. So now that this is used, I can finally like get her in the house. As you can see, it took me absolutely years to build these stairs correctly. I couldn't find the right swatch that I wanted to use. I knew how I wanted them to go, but they just weren't going right, and I had built the garden so big that I didn't really have much space in the garden to place them around. But I finally got it. I also didn't want to mess up the floor of the second level, so I tried to do it outside as much as I could. And then here I'm placing like pillars for this little open inside porch area that I made, but these just don't end up working. They kept on clipping, they kept on disappearing when I was building stuff. I don't know what I'd done wrong. There was a bit of an issue with the ceilings, which I managed to figure out, and we actually had a second floor. There was an issue with the roof clipping, so you will see that, so please don't mind that. There was one upstairs, I covered most of it. No matter what I tried, I couldn't get rid of it. I tried my hardest, it just didn't happen. So there are a few glitches in the house, but all of this will be play tested before it's just uploaded or anything, so I'm going to see. And my builds are very minimalistic and they are very busy, and I get that if like this is one sim, so I don't mind like some glitches. I don't mind glitches. I will play with them. Like I don't care. I know other people might want like an easy game, or things are running well as well because of my new PC. So that is another problem. Whereas I know if I was playing on my laptop, this would have irked me quite a lot. So yes, this is a very nice house. I really like this little inside area. That's where I wanted like the view of all the trees. So I wanted to leave that back window open so that when I'm in like maybe first camera mode, or if I'm controlling my sim and she's going around inside the little area, and then we can see out into the distance. I made sure not to cover it with too many plants as well. But I wanted this cute little gingham pattern. I'm surprised that there isn't really any actual orange wallpaper, because I wanted subtle orange and it ended up being this peach because there were no actual orange wallpapers. But I'm really glad that it matches the gingham in the front, and I love the from that pack that we have with the outside curtains, and those are the curtains I use throughout the house. Usually I do use some like different curtains in each room, but I just thought that she's one sim, like I can have different things in different areas. I wanted colours to be muted, but also if autumn is her favourite season and she loves the colours orange and yellow and stuff like myself, then I didn't mind her having some few standout colours, especially because some of the swatches I couldn't find any muted oranges. But as you can see, I've just placed that big window in the house that I got from the Realm of Magic pack, and now I'm moving on to the first proper room, is the living room. I did build the kitchen and I did film me building the kitchen. I don't know what's happened, but there is no footage of it, but you will see plenty of the kitchen in this build because it's open plan. But I'm building the living room right now, which I originally was going to do as like a downstairs gaming room slash office, but I just didn't work out. And then I'm like, wait, this is the only perfect box room I've got down here, so I'll make it into this perfect little cozy living room, which I did. So I was like, okay, big sofa, blankets, pillows, all that stuff. I wanted these like old vintagey looking items. I've got the fireplace from Cottage Living, I've got the lights from Cottage Living. You can see a theme going on here, and I thought that what would be perfect was placing the little leaves from the seasons packs on like tables and under items and stuff. Lots of plants. I'm a plant mum, I need plants in all my builds, so I have all of those. And then I size down some pumpkins. Just imagine that like she sits down and carves some pumpkins sometimes, and she's putting a few on like her fireplace and to look cute. But I thought it looked cute. And I'm also imagining that she has a cat, because I'm a cat lady too. I love cats and I can live vicariously through her. So she's got a little cat bed in there. And then I like using lots of paintings, so I've done that. And then I wanted to find some really nice curtains, and they do have some really nice swatches of curtains. And then I found this perfect like tartan one, and then finding a TV. So I've got a TV there, and now I'm moving on to what I'm calling the library. So I've got the big window, got the big plant window, and now this is just me being very indecisive on picking a bookshelf, because I wanted it to have the antique vintage look, but also there weren't a lot of items when I looked through. But I also wanted the bookshelves to look very busy, so it looks like she reads a lot of books. She's a writer, she's cooped up in the middle of nowhere on the top of a hill, like she does a lot of stuff by herself. This is also doubling as a hobby room, so I've got little friendship bracelet makers in there. I've got a little violin, so I'm gonna get her skill up on that. She got an art easel, which do end up going up upstairs instead, and it's just all of her cute little things. And then I was like, well, if she's gonna read, she needs a little rocking chair, so that will be placed in here. And we've also got the embroidery pack from Cottage Living. And then we got a massive grand piano, which I wasn't expecting to put in there. But then I'm like, well, hobby room, that looks beautiful. The swatches are all nice. She's gonna play the piano, so. Here I'm just placing the final parts for this room. So I've put a little hanging plant in, putting a little toy box in, some plants everywhere, some books everywhere, little flowers everywhere, just finishing touches. And then I'm adding rugs. There are way too many rugs in this build, I will admit, but a perfect room needs a perfect rug, and it fit perfectly in there. And I thought, her music, instead of just having a normal speaker, why not a gramophone? She's a little... So my sim is a young adult. It may not seem like this because of how I'm building her house, but she is a young adult. But she just likes all this old-timey stuff and all the antique vintage stuff. It's just how she is, much like myself as well. But actually her dress style is a lot more modern, even more modern than how I dress. But she's got some modern stuff in there, and I thought some bright colours, like, you know, her washing machines, her kitchen's nice and bright, which I love kitchens, and I love how I did the kitchen, and it's a layout I wouldn't usually use before. But I thought this big space here was perfect for a little dining area, so I spent ages looking through tables and chairs, and I thought I'd go with this like little mismatched thing, just so that it looked a bit more vintage. And then I got a really nice rug again, a little cornucopia, which I had to very strategically place on the table. And then I had a mirror. I want to be able to eventually get the tall mod, because sometimes I don't like how high the mirrors are or like where they're placed, so I just have to find the right mirror. But I ended up placing this out for that, which I think looks a lot better. And then I think we're finally moving upstairs. Nope. I'm making this little seating area. Okay, and here you can see more of the kitchen. So I've got little blinds, and it's a yellow themed kitchen, and I've got little things on the counters it's a really nice fridge and orange and yellow accents. I think it looks really nice though. And then I've got this little nook here. Plenty of nooks in this house, and more books to read. But yes, I'm doing the ceiling paint because we can do that now, so it'll look nice when she's inside. And then I'm finally moving upstairs. So I've got this big area with the stairs, big focal point. And then I wanted this open space. I wanted it to be a 1-bedroom, and she's got a bathroom downstairs and a bathroom upstairs, and I'd imagine that she has quite a few friends coming around and she's out quite a lot. And here I'm just placing all these little miscellaneous like clutter. So I've got some books, more books on the floor, washing up stuff on the washing machine, and more books and some tissues when she cries after she reads a good book. But then we're moving upstairs. For some reason my video cut off of me building the toilet downstairs, but I have it upstairs, so it's like a peachy wall tone, tiles, and then I've got a nice big clawfoot bathtub, which I think is perfect, and I built that quite quickly, obviously. So then we're moving on to the game room, the other hobby room. I wanted her to have her own separate desk, and I thought what could be a more perfect computer than the typewriter one. And then we've got this really nice easel with paint over it from Debug, and this nice little bookshelf, again, more books, and the curtains again, and then the really cute like Pastel Pop areas. I wanted to put a bit more colour in here, and I gave her the classic little like artist bins that they have, and then some desk clutter, some pencils, some candles, some little flowers, and just paintings as usual on the walls. And then I've given her the like trolley that all artists have, if you know, you know, in the corner, because I have a yellow one myself. So she needed one of those, and then it felt a bit empty, so I added another rug. So that's just me. There you go, there's her little trolley. Yeah, this roof piece that just was coming through and I couldn't do anything about it, so I was like, what can I do? I'll just put another sofa, another nook, and that seemed to solve it. The lighting is a bit weird. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. Sometimes things in Sims are just unexplainable. And here I'm placing another rug and some more seating things. And then I was like, well, what have we got downstairs? What can I do in this spare space here that was just a bit awkward? I will admit to that, it was a bit awkward. I didn't know what to do with it. So I made another living room, another nook. I thought instead of like, I don't know, she can just have a little, if she's, I want her to have loads of people around, you know, and all of her cats that show up inevitably can have little seating areas. That's really cute. Here's more of the bathroom. So it's really nice yellow cabinet and really nice bathtub. And I had almost forgotten to place a litter tray for the cats. But yes, I really like that second living room on the second floor. And then we're moving on to the final room, the bedroom. So I wanted orange stuff, but I didn't realise that there aren't like any orange beds. So I initially chose this bed, and I think this is the bed I keep, but I wanted her to have a big like open room, and that didn't really work out, but that's okay. I just adapted to it and placed it like this. And then I've got these little like lights. I've got them in downstairs as well. I think they're really cute, and just the little classic modern lights. And then because it matched the bed, and because I couldn't really find any nice bedroom wallpaper in orange, I went for this one in blue, which also matches her pillows. So I think that's really cute. But I've got a little like Halloween pumpkin teddy on her thing, so imagine that she likes little cozy things. I wanted her to have like a suitcase when she goes out like traveling and stuff. Really nice, loads of clothes space, another cat bed, and a mirror obviously, and then also a space for her to get ready. And then I got some little roses on there for her, and then I just placed some clutter and a little stool for her to sit down on. And once again another rug, because I love rugs and they just finish rooms off. But I've got a little clutter, like some clothes on the floor, some candles, some makeup, and a salt lamp, really pretty salt lamp. And then finally I'm just here placing all of the lights and some more plants. But that is it for this build. I'm going to insert some screenshots at the end of all the rooms in more detail, especially the bathrooms I got missed out on, and yeah, some more paintings as well. But placing all the lights, especially in this focal point where it dangles down, which is quite hard to do, but I think it looks really nice. And I will leave you with that and some screenshots, and I hope you enjoyed. Give me more Sims build suggestions, because I'll always take them on board, because I love building in the Sims. But I hope you enjoyed, and liking, commenting and subscribing once again would be very much appreciated, and as I spent 12 hours on this build, but thank you so much for watching. made it this far, well done. Thank you. Bye.